What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the podcast. Welcome back to the JP show. Um, let's get right into it. Um, Today we're talking about The Best Man. And let me give you the rundown. The last episode took a little longer. It was my first episode. Like I said, I'm gonna get into the groove of this, but yeah, I want to get right into it because I could talk. So, Best Man, 1999 film, Malcolm D. Lee, written, directed by Malcolm D. Lee, um, starring Morris Chestnut, Taye Diggs, Nia Long, like Monica Calhoun, Terrence Howard's in it. Who else is in it? Hold on, let me pull up my cast list. I can have it right here. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, who's the last person I said? Terrence Howard. Harold Perrineau. Sanaa Lathan's in it. Regina Hall's in it. We got Morris Chestnut. Yeah, we got a cast of black legends in this movie. And yeah, this came out in 99. And this is like a dramedy movie. One of very important film in the time that it came out. Definitely showed black people in a beautiful light. Other than the drama and the toxic shit going on in this movie and this story, this is about successful black yuppies who, like during a time where the image of American success, pretty much since the beginning of the, cinema, white people are at the forefront, racism. I don't got to get into it. But this is a cast and a story where, like, you would normally find this, like, in a white world. But no, this is in a black world, and it's also speaking to us. So these aren't, necessarily black white people. These are just black people who are just living life, dealing with drama, relationships, cheating, toxic shit, just human shit, like human things that, for the longest, just even till to this day, it's just like, black people are human beings. Like, we deal with the same things. We deal with love. We deal with heartbreak. We deal with all of that. It's real life. And Malcolm D. Lee definitely, did that. You know what I mean? Checked all the boxes on that. But now here's the fun part. Let's get into it. This movie starts. Taye Diggs has a book coming out. He's a writer, and it's called Unfinished Business. And basically, he kind of, takes bits and pieces of his life and his time in college and tells stories about his group of friends, and tells a steamy story about love, betrayal, and, loyalty, friendship, romance, all of that. So, start of the movie begins with him and his girlfriend. They live in Chicago, and his girlfriend is kind of like, these are people who are young in their mid, in their 20s and mid to late 20s, and he's on his stride, right? He's got a book coming out, and his girlfriend seems kind of like still finding her footing in life, and he doesn't come from that world. His friends don't come from that world. And something that they're dealing with is he's a man who's disconnected with certain vulnerabilities, such as emotion, such as faith. And that's kind of like what his character arc is about. Like, him his trust in his vulnerability, his trust is in his emotions, his trust in his faith, and you know, in his or his turn to faith. But we'll see that later on. And yeah, he's gonna go fly to New York because his best friend is going to get married, and he's the best man. He's the best man for this wedding, and he gets to New York. He meets. So it's a group of guys, right? It's Taye Diggs, who's Harper Stewart. We have Murch, Harold Perrineau's character. We have Murch. We have Quentin, who is Terrence Howard, and we have Lance Sullivan, who is Morris Chestnut, and that's the group of guys, right? The let me run down the group of girls too. Group of girls is Jordan Armstrong, played by Nia Long. We have Mia, who is played by Monica Calhoun, and Shelby, who is going to be playing. Who's playing Shelby? I forgot that actress's name. Shelby is Melissa DeSouza. And that's the group of gals. Regina Hall comes in later. I'll get into that too. So, pretty much, yeah. Where was I? Yeah, Taye Diggs. He gets to New York, gets picked up by Murch. Murch is talking about, like, you know, the old times, college, times before that time. You know what I mean? Like, just like, and he's talking about, you know, Jordan, who, you know, so Jordan and Harper have, there's been tension, sexual tension, just all types of, like, they've been feeling each other. And, like, all the friend group knows that, like, yo, y'all two are, like, playing around. Like, y'all need to, like, make this happen and get together. Like, stop playing. And they go see Jordan at her job, and Jordan is this power woman. She's a producer at a television network, I believe, and or a news network. She's doing something in news broadcasting. So she's, like, you can see she's running the show. She's the captain of the ship. She's yeah, just this independent, black, strong, powerful woman in 1999. So, not saying it wasn't possible, but just knowing that she's a black woman in a corporate media, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, she earned her place. Yes, she did. And you know, Harper and Mia, you could just immediately, hey, how you doing? The hugs are longer. A lot of just taking it in. And it's just like, hey, like, you know, I have a girlfriend. And she's like, of course, you know, da, da, da. And they talking about the book. And so Jordan has a copy of the book. She read it. She's like, oh my God, Harper, this is amazing. This is going to do great. It's going to be amazing. And she's, like, working her thing, like, yo, I could get you this. I got press, PR. I can help you with all of that. We can make this happen. And he's like, Jordan, chill out. You know what I'm saying? Like, right, this weekend ain't about me. It's about Lance and Mia. And so they go meet up with Quentin before they meet up with Lance and Mia. I don't know if I said this. Lance and Mia are the ones getting married, but that's not the major thing of the whole thing. Go see Quentin. Now, Quentin is played by Terrence Howard. Quentin is just like this smooth player character. So Harper is kind of like, you know, he's no, like, I don't like these terms, but he's not a beta male, but he's more, how can I describe Harper's character? He's focused, he's driven, he's ambitious, and that is, like, the chink, that's his Achilles heel almost. Where Jordan Jordan and Harper complement each other like that, but Jordan has a handle on it more than Harper does. Harper is not connected to himself the way he should be. Um, and Merch is kind of like the, nerd, kind of clueless, but incredibly, just like he's more of the beta male. I'll explain why in a minute. Quentin is the pimp. You know what I mean? Quentin, if you know Terrence Howard and you know some of his roles, his iconic roles, Quentin is one of them. Quentin is just this smooth pimp player kind of cat, and that's a word he uses, cat. You know what I'm saying? And he's also kind of like finding his purpose, right? But he knows who he is. He knows that. And he's kind of like in a group of he's kind of in a group of successful friends who, hold on. Yeah, Quentin's looking for, like I said, he's looking for his purpose, but he knows who he is truly to his core, because Quentin, believe it or not, is actually the most honest character out of everyone. I'll expand on that also down the line. Quentin also, I believe, had a copy of the book or read the book, loves the book, and immediately knows. Immediately is just like, I read. He's looking at Harper like, yo, bro, like I read the book. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, you are Lance's best man, but bro, I read the book. Like he's already, like he's sending the subliminals and letting him know, like, yo, I don't know why you did this, but you know me, bro. I'm an instigator. I start shit. I stir shit up. But I'm not really the wrong. I'm not the one who's wrong in this situation. I believe he had gotten a copy of a book from Jordan. I think Jordan had, because they're all friends, right? So Jordan, I think, had gave it to Quentin. Quentin also lives in New York. So before we even get to Lance and Mia, Shelby, who is a friend of Mia's, because Mia is part of a sorority in college and stuff. Shelby is Merch's girlfriend. How can I describe Shelby? Needy, manipulative, controlling, and Merch. Yeah, she got Merch wrapped around her finger. Yeah, very manipulative, very toxic, and just no good for Merch. But Merch he's sprung. He pussy whipped. He really is. He truly is. And there's a scene where, she's like, "Hey, so I'm going to go get my suit. I'm getting fitted for the suit for my tuxedo, I mean." And she's like, "But like, I thought we were gonna spend time together. I thought like she's that girlfriend." And she's like catches an attitude and like starts crying and like being super emotional. And he's like, "Oh my God, babe, I'm not trying to hurt you. Like, let's talk." And everyone's just like, "Bro, really?" In walks in Lance. Lance is, I believe, a football. No, yeah, Lance is a football player. I believe he's a running back for the New York Giants. Just got a big fat contract. All of that, right? All of that. And yeah, he got the reporters around him. He got the photographer. He got paparazzi. He got the press around him. He got groupies around him. But he immediately goes to his group of friends. You know what I mean? And yeah, Harper and Lance, you could just see the brotherhood. You know what I mean? You could see that they're the closest out of the group of guys, and within the group of guys, I mean, they're the closest, and they're like, yo, bro, like let's take a walk. Let's go. Let's go to the boutique. Let's go get the tuxedo fit in. So they're all just catching up at this point. Jordan decides to go, I believe, meet up with Mia, and yeah. So we're with the group of guys, and they're in the tuxedo parlor, getting fitted. Quentin and Harper exchange words. Merch and Lance are exchanging talking, having conversation off to the side. Harper and Quentin are exchanging words. Harper being just a friend and a bro, like yo, what are you doing, man? Like, you're super smart, you're super capable. Like, do you not want to get into the hotel business? I know your dad has the hotel and blah blah blah. And he's like, yo, bro, like, who are you trying to, like, I feel like you're trying to check me. Like, don't worry about me. You know what I mean? And he's like, it gets a little heated. And he's like, kind of just like checking Harper for checking him, because I read the book, nigga. Like, who you talking to? Like, I know who I am. Do you know who you are? Do you understand the type of dude you are? And Merch notices. Merch is like, yo, what's going on? And he's like, yo, man, cool as a fan, cat. I love that line. And yeah, things get a little tense. Uh, there's a scene. I hope I don't miss it. I think there's a scene with yeah. So Lance, Mia, Jordan, and Harper are at their house. Enter Mia. Mia's beautiful. Monica Calhoun. All of that. Beautiful. Comes down the steps. I'm Lance's fiance, the queen, blah, blah, blah. I'm Mrs. Alpha. Lance is the alpha. She's Mrs. Alpha, but she's like the woman, the woman of the alpha. So she's like, traditional, innocent, seems innocent, all of that, right? So Mia and Harper used to work together back in college. Mia was an intern, or yeah, she was interning at the college newspaper where Harper was the senior editor at for the college newspaper, and that's how they met. And Lance introduced him to Mia. And just to fast forward in the flashback, because there are flashbacks, Lance fucks up because he's a college fucking athlete star and we know how they get down. Hoes, groupies, and he's a young black man and he's doing his thing, and it's just like, yo, so he's cheating on Mia. Mia's like threatening to break up with him. Lance is all bent out of shape about it because Lance does care about Mia. Um, but young man just, thinks with his, he's thinking with his dick, and he's not really thinking, using his proper brain and stuff like that. So he ain't doing that. He ain't using that. So yeah, so he's all bent out of shape, and he's just like, you also see this, and also the scene, he's like, yo, pray with me, Harper. And Harper's like, pray with you? I don't believe in God. I'm not into all of that. Harper has no faith. Um, cut to Harper and Mia, good friends, close, all this other stuff. Everybody's cool. And then there's a scene where, one of the best scenes in film history, just true, like it's a true roller coaster of a scene where, like, you just seen a group of guys playing cards, drinking, having a good time. It's we catching up. It's a celebratory time. I'm about to get married, all this other stuff, right? So they playing cards, and we're talking about how Merch don't keep his mouth shut and all this other stuff. And they're talking about each other's, like, what what they hold most dear, like, what's important to them. And you know, Quentin changed, there's a point in the conversation. Quentin's like, yeah. So Lance, like, you sure you want to settle down, man? Like, I know Mia is like, she's amazing, man. She's an amazing woman. But you just got that big fat contract, and he's like, yeah, man, I'm good. All my immature days of, running around with this one and that one is over. I'm settling down. Mia's the one. And, he's saying it like it is, and then Quentin, being the instigator that he is, stirring shit up. Quentin's like, yeah. I mean, what if you found out, let's just say hypothetically, you know, oh, let me take that back. Before I even say that, Lance says some real toxic shit. Like, yo, I'm Mia's first and I'm her last. Her pussy curved to my dick. All type. This is fiance, by the way. But Quentin is talking and speaking on shit like pissing Lance off because Lance is like the alpha and he's short tempered and all this other shit, right? Now what I realized, like, you know what I'm saying, like a lot of toxic shit in this film. I'm not gonna expound on it yet, but there's a lot of toxic shit in this film. But this movie came out in a time when society was very, very different. But that's neither here nor there at this moment. Quentin is like, yo, but like, what it like? So like, what if you found out hypothetically, you found out Mia got her groove on during y'all little, breakups, got her groove on. I mean, it would be fair, wouldn't you say? All the shit that you did to her, like, he said all this shit to Lance. Lance flips the table up and grabs him like, shut up, Quentin. That's a trigger for me. I like to be in control of things, control of my life, control of my environment, control of my woman. And Quentin, he's not even phased. Quentin's like, he's young Quentin up. Quentin not even phased. Because he know, technically Quentin is in control of all of this shit. He's stirring shit up. Puppet master. This is a shitty group of friends. I just want to say that. Yo, whatever. And Murch and Harper are like, all right, let's calm things down. No need to, like all of this. What is this? It's a celebratory weekend. What are we doing? Yeah. So now there's a scene where there's a little bit of tension. Mia and Harper. There's a few scenes where it's just Mia and Harper. Excuse me. I keep getting confused between Nia Long and Mia. So Jordan and Harper, Taye Diggs and Nia Long have the most. You see tension in certain scenes where they have a dialogue together, and there's one scene where Harper is getting dressed. It must have been the next day, right? Harper's getting dressed, and he's shirtless. Jordan walks in. Jordan's like, what's going on? Like, all this other stuff. Like, yeah, just checking him out, turned on. And Harper's like, look at us. I'm just shirtless. You're in here. You got your arms out, all types of, like, show, like, they you know what I'm saying? Tension, sexual tension. It's hot, steaming, all of that. And scenes ends. We could pass some other stuff. So another important scene that happens is I'll even talk about, there's a scene where Jordan not confesses, but like professes like she wants to make love to Harper. She's like, look, after the bachelor party, this is the day of the bachelor party, the night of the bachelor party. So he's like, oh, after the bachelor party, let's come back to my place and blow my back out. we had a chance in college. Pause. Yes, there was a flashback. Jordan and Harper had a flashback where they're studying together and they're fucking singing to Stevie Wonder as Stevie Wonder. Don't need to get into that. Don't need to get into that song. Amazing song. And there's like a little romantic moment and the CD skips. I'm gonna repeat myself. The CD skips. That's how old these people are, and that's how when they were in college. The CD skipped, and they were about to kiss. It doesn't happen, right? Because they're singing and dancing. They're dancing up on each other. They're about to kiss. It doesn't happen. Kisses her on the forehead. Fucking intimate. God damn. That's his. Although that's Harper's signature. That's his signature, by the way. Mwah. Right on the forehead. I'm feeling you. That's what that means. That's his intimate signature. So cut to Jordan's like, Harper, fuck me later after the bachelor party, whatever. Harper's like, okay, I'm gonna cheat on my girlfriend. That's what he basically agreed to. Let's not forget. Sanaa Lathan's character, Robin, is back in Chicago, who is flying in the day of the wedding, by the way. And he's like, nah, I'm gonna cheat on my fuck her. Or whatever. So, yep, what happens? There's a scene where Shelby's back. Shelby's trying to convince Murch not to go to this bachelor party. And Quentin's like, man, find your balls, bro. Like, be a man, bro. Stop letting her manipulate you. You are a man. It's okay to do what you want to do. So you're an adult. Fuck that. You're an adult. Do what you want to do. Like, it's a bachelor party. This is what men do. He's trying to explain that to Shelby. And Shelby's crying and being manipulated. Even the guys are behind him like, oh my God, this bitch. And then Murch looks at Quentin and Quentin's like, get your balls, nigga. Let them shits hang, nigga. Murch is like, you know what? I'm going to see you in the morning. I'm going to do that. And she like catches a fit, blah, blah, blah. And all the guys are cheering him up. Yeah. You know he only did it because his boys is there. He not really built like that. Murch is soft. Like Murch is, like I said, he's a soft one. So, Lance has a copy of the book now. Lance has been reading the book. Why would I read my boy's like book? Like, why would I not read that? Like, come on, bro. Like, and he's like, yo, this is a page turner like a motherfucker. This shit is amazing. This book is awesome. And yeah, it was. Yeah, let's cut to so now they're at the hotel. So I think Quentin father owns or manages the hotel there, and so they get a suite, big ass suite at the top of the hotel, terrace, all of that, right? Yeah, nice Midtown New York City. Come on. So it's Lance, the boys, and like it's got to be like his teammates and just like other friends like from his like frat and all this other stuff. The strippers arrive. And one of the strippers is the amazing actress, the beautiful Regina Hall. And her name is Candy, but her name is Candace in the store. That's her real name. Her stripper name is Candy. So it's a bachelor party. Lance Sullivan, football player, So before it begins, Murch is like he's like, I gotta call Shelby. I just gotta let her know she's, things are okay. I gotta let. And Quentin hangs up the phone. It's like he says, "Don't think, drink," and hands him a shot of like whiskey. Like, yo, fucking be a man, bro. Like, chill out. Like, relax. Stop thinking. Just have fun, bro. Like, we good. Ain't that gonna happen, bro? So the party begins. Alcohol. Group of guys. Strippers are stripping. And like, Harper gets a lap dance. You know, um, uh, Merch. I think Lance get a lap dance. Harper gets a lap dance, and they're like, "Yo, get Merch." And Merch, Regina Hall, she in a thong, she shaking it, like yeah, and it goes there. um, um, Merch fell in love. Merch was like, "Oh my god, I love you." Like he fell in love with a stripper. He just like never like experienced anything like this. He was just like, "This is amazing." Like, what am I doing with my life? So Harper also is like trying to use this time to try and get the book from Lance because Lance is talking to Harper throughout the film about like what he's reading. It's like, yo, man, these characters, man, and like he knows like the cat, like pretty much everyone that's read the book, like either it's like there's sus about who the characters are, or they just know like, yo, I know what the characters are. Quentin, the intelligent fucking dude that he is, fucking just slick, intelligent, sleazy, instigated dude that he was like, yeah, I know what's up. I know what's up. He Harper is like trying to hide the book from Lance. Lance discovers that the book is in Harper's coat, and he decides to sneak out of the party while Harper thinking everything is all safe and all good. Um, then he decides to lock himself in the bathroom and finish the book. So the strippers are going, Merch is having a good time, all these things are happening. And as the party is about to end, the strippers leave. Merch goes downstairs to like go after the stripper and try to like holler at her and talk to her. He's like, "You fell in love." Um, Lance finds out and is like, "Yo, Harper fucked Mia. Harper fucked his fiance back in college. His best friend fucked his girl." Um, he's finding out. Lance goes red and proceeds to beat the living shit out of Harper and is fucking him up. Everybody's trying to stop him. Harper tries to run. They ended up outside of the terrace. Lance is holding this nigga not over the terrace, but he's leaning. He's like, "Nigga, I could kill you right now. I could throw you off this motherfucker. You know I have anger problems. You know how I feel about Mia." And he's like, "Dude, I'm like, please don't, Lance. Come on, man. It's just a book, man. Like, it's not what you think, man." Here come Quentin coming outside with a cigarette from hanging from his mouth. This nigga. He's like, "Lance." He's like, "Come on, Lance. This your man, 100 grand. This your brother. And as much as he's of a bitch ass that he is." Right, Harper? Or is Harper a bitch ass? I'm a bitch ass. Oh man, this movie is classic. If you haven't seen it, what are you doing with your life? Go watch it if you haven't seen it. Um, Quentin manages to bring Lance to a, not a cooler head, but he's like letting him think like, "Yo, don't throw him off the like." That's where it went. That's where the fight went. It wasn't, "I'm gonna beat the shit out of you and pummel you until I'm tired." He was going to throw Harper off the fucking terrace, off the balcony. Um, Manages to, he calms him down in that sense of like, "Yo, I'm not gonna throw you off the balcony." But he goes back inside. Wedding's off. That's what he says to everybody. Everybody's like, "Fuck, this nigga was about to kill his best friend. I'm not his best friend. Everybody leave. This nigga's tight." Because that's the thing. Like, I can speak on it because I'm toxic, but men have a. I don't even think it's toxic. It's just like, yo, when it comes to our something vulnerable such as our women when it comes to sex and these things. And it's one thing if there's a betrayal between me and my woman, whether I do it or she does it. It's just for anybody, right? Men, women, it don't matter what the relationship, what type of relationship, what type of sexuality, gender, it don't even matter. For your best friend to break the code, I don't need to speak about it or explain it, the code of off limits. Off limits, bro. When it comes to matters of my heart, if I'm dealing with somebody, like they're off limits physically, bro. They're off limits in every type of way. Like they are off limits. That's the code. That's, and you know, and then when that happens, there's like an extra strength. Like, this ain't no like ego fight, like pumping our chests out, nigga. I'll kill any and everyone in this bitch. So them niggas knew what time it was. Them niggas was like, I'm out. Let's rewind a little bit. So Murch and Candace are like connecting. Candace is a student. Murch is a scholar. And you know, they're talking about quotes from different authors, Audre Lorde, or different writers. I should say authors, writers, Audre Lorde and such. And they're connected while this is happening. He sees during the fight, he sees Lance fucking holding Harper over the fucking balcony. He's like, please wait for me right here. I'm gonna go back upstairs, but wait for me. When the fight's over, right? This is the reason why I brought it back to that, because when the fight's over, everybody's leaving. Here come Murch, late ass. Like, what happened? Called the wedding off. What do you mean he called the wedding off? What happened? Harper has his beat over there. He's like, he called the wedding off. Cut to. Naturally, oh yeah, Candace, she left. Like, she leaves. She's with like her manager. I'm not gonna say pimp, but like he's with like, you know, he's got to make sure brings the strippers, make sure he takes the strippers, make sure they're safe, all that shit. So, cut to Jordan's in lingerie. Jordan got the candles lit. She got the like, she's ready. You know what I'm saying? She's setting the mood. She's like, yo, I've been waiting for this. We've been friends for so long. I'm ready for this. All of that. Here comes this nigga, busted fucking lip, black eye. This nigga fought a fucking NFL running back, black eye. And he's like, cut to, they're sitting down on her couch and he's explaining to Jordan, hey, so you gotta, like, he basically explains to her, like, look, yeah, I did it, the characters, all this other stuff. And she's like, why the fuck would you put that in the book? Like, why would you? And he was like, it's not about that. Had you not fucking spread my book around and such, and, you know, they be in marital bliss, I could care less. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was just blaming her. You know how men are. He's just blaming her. And she slaps the shit out of him like, who the fuck is you? You know what I'm saying? Valid, because he was raising his voice in her house, all this other shit. Not being accountable. He wasn't taking accountability for his dumb shit. And she slaps the shit out of him and she's like, look, you've pissed me off. I'm horny. There's so many things right now. I'm going to bed. And he's like, still on some like, can you hold me? And she's like, nigga, please. Good night. Like, cut to this nigga's at the airport picking up his girlfriend. Harper is at the airport to pick up his girlfriend. He has got the shades on and he's trying to play it cool. You know what I'm saying? You could tell he had a night, little, like, he just like, you know, just like this man been through it last night. It's bad. He had a night, right? She comes out the gate like, what's up, man? Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what happened? This dude can't stand up because he's like He's sore, all this other shit. Got his ass whooped. Happens. Um, they end up at a coffee shop, and he kind of like confesses to her like everything that's going on, and even the whole thing between him and Jordan. And she's like, "Well, I'm out. Fuck you. Like, we're done." Um, and he's like begging her to stay and begging her that like, "Look, I need your help. I need you. Please help me." She decides to stay because she, in the beginning, she told him that she loves him. He didn't say it back, so they kind of left on an awkward note. I don't know if I mentioned that or not. Forgive me if I didn't. Um, Kind of left him on an awkward note, and yeah. Long story short, we're at the third act of the film. Mia does not know what's going on. Lance is missing. Quentin and Murch are at the church. Mia is at the church, and Robin and Jordan meet, and they are both at the church, and they're just like concerned about like, yo, how do we gotta fix this. We gotta make sure this wedding happens. Um, Murch breaks up with Shelby because Candace arrives. Candace came to the wedding. He invited her, and Shelby was like, "What's this Pop Tarts? You're gonna choose this Pop Tart over me?" And blah 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 blah, whatever blah. And you know, Murch was able to find that within hours. He just found a better situation and knew like, yo, this is the girl. You know what I'm saying? Shelby, you ain't shit. We're over. And you know, Shelby's aghast about what's happening. And even in that such moment, she tries to manipulate him, but it didn't work. Whatever. Lance arrives. Lance is like in the clothes that he wore. He's like, I'm here to just call it off. I'm not here to da 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 da. And now Harper and Lance have a moment where they're Mia does not see Lance. Harper then goes against what his natural thing is, and he's like, "Yo, like pray with me, man." He's quoting Bible scriptures. He's doing everything to convince Lance that he should do this and go follow with it. And he's saying, "I'm sorry. This was stupid of me. I'm an idiot. I'm a horrible friend. Do not like Mia loves you, dog. She did what she did because you were fucking around on her, and she wanted to get back at you, or wanted to not even get back at you because you didn't know, but like." She wanted to feel good, and I like, you know, like he didn't say all of that, but he was like, "Yo, go through with the wedding, dog. Like you love her, be with her. She loves you, be with her. Like y'all are right for each other. Like don't let my dumb ass ruin that shit." Lance, being the man of God that he is, being the faithful man he is, he's like, you know what? Because I'm that, we're gonna pray. I'm gonna make you do something that you're uncomfortable with, and you're gonna pray with me. And this is what's going to make it happen. Harper does it. The wedding's about to happen. Here comes the bride. Mia is walking down the aisle. Lance is crying. You know why Lance is crying? They not happy tears. Lance is just... Lance is picturing Mia getting fucked by... You know what I'm saying? Like, he can't... He's like, fuck, dog. Like... Oh. It's not funny, but it's like it's not funny, but it is funny because it's like the reason why he's crying is a lot. It's a deeper issue. But I get it. He's in pain. I would be too. I'd be crying too. I can't imagine being in that position. First of all, I'm too petty. There is no wedding. Like he did all that prayer stuff and you know what I mean, faith in God. Fuck out of here. The wedding's off. But he stood there. He was at the altar, and you know, they're saying each other's vows. Mia says her vows. She's crying. She's happy. She's a bride. Lance is like pushing. He is pushing those vows out because he keeps picturing her getting her ass, getting her back blown out, bro. Like, it's nuts. It's not funny, but it is. Yeah. And basically It happens. Forever hold your peace. They kiss. They're married. It's the reception. I'm gonna wrap it up. It's the reception. Lance he's cool, he's calm, he's like, all right, it's over, whatever. But there's still tension between him and Harper. But it's like, the main thing is that love prevailed, right? That's what it's a happy ending. Love prevailed. Um, Harper he was just like, oh my God, Robin, you know what? He proposes. He proposes to Robin at the thing. Me personally, I get why they did that. I'm just like, that's wild and inappropriate after, especially what we've just been through in the past few hours. Why would you do that at my wedding? But whatever. Proposes to Robin. He knows that him and Jordan will never have their time. Quentin and Shelby have sexual tension. It's like hateful tension, but it's sexual. Very funny. And what else? Yeah, they do the electric slide. End of the movie. One of the end funny bits is I think Shelby and Quentin hook up. Whatever. And yeah, end of the movie. Now, let's talk about the topic. The topic question. It's that time of the show. Now, a basic ass topic question is, would you sleep with your best friends? Blah, 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 blah. Screw all of that. This is for men and women. Would you tell your best friend that you slept with their partner, their person, like they in love with them too, like you slept with them? Do you tell them in the time that it happens and risk the friendship? Or do you hold it, you know what I mean? Like, do you take, like, is this something you'll hold in and, like, hopefully take to the grave? In Harper's situation, he fucked himself up, because if you really trying to hold it in and take it to the grave, you don't put it in your book. But he didn't do that. Excuse me, he didn't do that. So I'm asking you, like, do you basically handle it in the time that it happens, or is this something that you you try and take to your grave, knowing that the other person won't say nothing, knowing that it was only a moment, and kind of just choose this selfish path? Like, is that something that you'll do? My answer to that is, my take on that is, who I am now, I would never, like, just based on my group. So this group of friends suck. Like, it's successful and great and whatever, like, and they do love each other, but they suck. Like, they treat each other like shit. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason for having a bro that's gonna stir up shit. There's no reason that, you know what I mean, you yoking up your bro like that, while y'all playing cards and shit. There's no reason that, because you're a man and you were a young man, you run around with your dick out while you have a girl who's devoted and faithful and all these things to you and committed to you, and you fucking cheating on her. What makes you think she not gonna get her swerve on too? And you can't even, like, you can be mad, but you can't be mad. But because of the time, the time that this came out, and how society and the status quo of the sexual marketplace was, and dating and all these relationships and all of that, it was very again, we are in the patriarchy, but like things that aren't accepted now within masculinity and like toxic masculinity was accepted then. So it was considered to be masculine to be an alpha like Lance, and that was okay. Not even, you know what I mean? Like, the flaws of him, like, yeah, he has anger issues, but like that's not highlighted in the movie. You know what I'm saying? Clearly this man has control issues, has anger issues, all this other stuff. The dude plays football. Maybe he needs a CAT scan. These are things that they don't touch on, but we would touch on them today. But this is 99, so I digress. And hold up, because I'm trying to see if we could get a woman's perspective. Let me see if I could call a friend. But yeah, my answer to that is, if I like hypothetically, if I sleep with my best friend's girl, right? And this is like early 20s, right? We in college, you know what I'm saying? We're horny, we're at our horniest. Um, I tell him then. It would kill me. It would be painful, but you know what I'm saying? Because I'm risking losing my brother, risking that friendship, risking that brotherhood, and but my if I have any love or respect for my brother as a person and removing myself out of his life, and just because he is who he is and I love him for that, I'm going to tell him he has the right to know, and he has the right to make that decision of how he's going to move forward with me, how he's going to move forward with his girl. Like, he has the right to know that. And I guess in Harper's case, he knew that they both loved each other, and they, you know what I mean? And he, like I said, it was a moment she needed. Yeah, she needed that, and he gave it to her. He should have never been the one to give it. So I'm not saying Mia had go get your swerve on, sis. But the best friend though, like his bro, like that's low. You know what I'm saying? Mia knew what she was doing too. She ain't all innocent. She little, she done the thing, and they kind of hint at too in the first act. But yeah, I wouldn't hold that secret. I don't think I could do that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but I feel we all have a selfish trait to us, but like when it comes to my friends, I don't play about my friends. So, you know what I mean? Like, especially someone I call my bro, my brother. You know what I mean? That's not a word I use loosely like that. You know what I mean? Like, when I mean it, like, especially those moments as men where we have those intimate moments where it's just like, yo, man, like those vulnerable moments. I can't I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? I can't just hold that on for years and years and years and years and years. And then be stupid enough to be on some like, yo, I'm gonna put it in this book I'm writing. I'll change the character's name, but it's just like, who cares? Like, it's just a book. No one's gonna think anything. Blah blah blah. Lance don't know nothing, so it's like whatever. So it's like, but the truth always comes home. What's the term? What's that stupid term? The chickens will come home to roost. Whatever the hell that means. I still don't know what it means, but it sounds good. Uh, and I've heard people use it, so yeah, I don't know what the fuck that means. But nah, I wouldn't do that. Um, but yeah, like I said, this group of friends suck. These are Gen Xers. Uh, yeah, just society was different. The shit that was accepted from from men and masculinity was there was a high tolerance. Now there's a low tolerance for the toxic shit, which is fair. That's fine. That's the time I'm a man in. You know what I mean? So I see things differently. You know what I mean? All of them suck except merch. Merch is a little bit pussy whips, but that's fixable. It got solved. You know what I'm saying? Right then and there. So it's all good. But yeah, that's The Best Man. One of my faves. Um, one of my faves on here. It was just amazing to see, these black yuppies live life. We see that now. We see how that movie has influenced, my generation today. We see, because back then black people were put in a certain light in media, and that's not the case now. Um, Insecure, black people living life. Uh, what else? Losing train of thought, but yeah, man, that film is just very important. It's very important in just cinema. You know what I mean? Black things that have like, yes, we have to highlight that it's black, but really, it's just one of those important films in cinema, especially under the romance genre, under dramedy comedy. Like it's under there. Like it really, Malcolm D. Lee really knocked that one out the park. And I don't know anyone that doesn't like that movie. I don't know anyone that has watched that movie and didn't like it. So Yeah, amazing cast, amazing writing, amazing performances, all around just classic film. But yeah, that wraps up today's episode. It sucks that, I couldn't get, a woman's take on it, but there'll be more episodes. I'm working on putting out 2 a week. Give me some time. I'm really getting into my groove with this podcast thing, but I do enjoy it. And yeah, you're gonna be seeing a lot more of me. You're gonna be hearing me a lot more. But yeah, that wraps it up for today. The JP Show podcast. Um, be sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel, the JP Show on YouTube. Uh, my entertainment umbrella is Chaos Entertainment. I am a filmmaker. I am a writer. I do these things. I've done acting. Might get into it, back into it. I don't know yet. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, man, that wraps it up for episode 2 today. Have a good week, everyone.